Okay guys, this is Cruiseroy with two UpAir One batteries. I fooled with one, ended up with the error of death. If you ever see that, be careful charging it because it thinks it's on the first stage of balancing and it'll continue charging. This is the way a correct battery should work. This is the way it shouldn't work. If I turn it on, all 4 bars, if I turn it on, all 4 bars, they go away and it has the error light of death. So let me shut them off. So we're not concerned about this one because it works. The concern about this one is I put it on the charger and walk away, it's going to fail or explode because it doesn't know when to stop. And just to show you that it's not blinking, it's not just blinking because it's out of juice. I'll put a tester to it. Negative on the right, positive on the left. And I got 4 volts and 73, 4.73. Now let me turn it on. 1261 for voltage with the blinking light of death. Problem is, I noticed charging it one night and it just kept charging. It wouldn't stop, it wouldn't stop, it wouldn't stop, it wouldn't stop. So, problem with this error is I don't think it knows, it's not too smart anymore, it doesn't know to shut down. So, my idea was, let's try to get a balance lead on it. Of course, I got 2 chargers, so I'm going to have to take a charger apart and put a fitting on it so I can put it in and still charge it with a basic LiPo charger. But first things first, what can we do with this mess? I mean, it's not like a DJI battery, it's its own type of battery. I've already had it off, so it comes off easy. Once you break the glue, they just come off easy. Alright. Get a screwdriver. Let's take it all apart here. Watch your screws. This is a full charge battery, and those are metallic screws. Now what I tried to do was put a balance to their little balance blobs. I already tried to put a balance lead to the top here, and if you look at it really close, I put little blobs in, but they're balance points. But for some reason I must have hit one of these other little circuits, and that's what caused the error, the problem now. Just a little bit of heat, so there might be a thermal switch in this battery. When it overheats, it kills it, which is a bad thing because I can still charge this thing. I had it up to 14 volts. That was the problem, was almost 14 volts. I had to discharge it. I put it in the drone and discharged it. So, what do we do to solve this problem? Watch out for those little plastic things again, they'll let them fly around. Put them all in the cap here. Oh, there's the other one. So anyways, I got a soldering iron here. I got some solder. Let's save the screws. Now, what I already did was up underneath. I'm going to disconnect the smart board first. Don't want any other problems. What I did first was try to get a balance lead off the top here, and if you look at the battery, there are points that say B+, B1, 2, and 3, B negative, B1, 2, and 3. So I tried soldering to those. That didn't work. And I did detect, you can see the scratch marks, how the cells are set up here. You have a negative, and then you have your balance negative, which is right here. Alright, and then you have cell 1, which is B1. Over here they have B2, so that's cell 2. And here's B plus, but I marked it 3 because that's your total voltage. I guess they just call it B straight up, you know. That's where you get your total amount of voltage from, is number 3. So just to show you, if I can slide this out of the way, I'm going to put this, let me put the meter so you can see it. Better if it's laying down. Okay. We got the negative pad. Number 1 is this big side. And they have a coating on here you have to go through. We're going to take care of that in a little bit. But see, 420 on the first cell. The second cell that I marked number 2 should be 420 times 2. 840. Now you got 420 times 3. Gives you the third battery cell, which is right here, is 1261. Give or take a couple of volts, or millivolts. Alright, so it has a cell layout. So if I soldered a balance lead to all these big globs, would I get balance? Now how do I get rid of this guy? He's cute, he's got a little button. You know, it doesn't work without the little hookup here. And it's not working anyways. So I need to get negative power to the side of the battery. So you have positive, negative, and you have your balance leads. That's how a regular LiPo is set up. So what I need to do is, what I thought was, that is the negative. I need to disconnect the negative and then plop it onto right direct to the power. So the easiest way looks, let me see if this is hot enough. I'm right-handed working with my left hand. There's a blob right here. And the board's getting hot. You gotta watch this. Let me get the meter out of here. We're playing with a live LiPo battery. I'm trying to put a little pressure here and remove that, and it's sending a current right through everything here. So I'm going to have an easier way of doing this. I'm just going to cut it. There we go. So I cut it off of the board, and we have this extra one here that I need to get rid of. I'm trying not to use too much heat. What I'm going to do is crisscross this right into, and it's probably too short, but they're both too short either way you look at it, so I might have to stop and get some silicone wire and run it from here to here. So let me try to remove the Smarty Pants board. You got a lot of solder here, so if I speed the video up, it's only because this is boring sitting here watching the heat. Yeah, that's definitely a lot of hot solder there. And I can't get that to go over. I'm going to cut this out of the way. You don't need a short circuit. I guess what I could do is solder these two together. Get a little shrink tape, get a little heat tape, put these two together. What do you think? That sounds perfect, Mike! Alright, so what I have to do is clean the wire. This is the first time doing this. I don't recommend anybody doing this either. Very soft silicone wire there. I'm going to take it to about here. Okay. Okay, if you can hold for a minute, I need to get some shrink tape. I'll be right back. Always keep a little package of shrink tape around if you're in the hobby. I'm going to go with this size here. You don't need a full piece. Probably a little much too. But first, need to do a little tinning. One side. Just remember, I don't recommend anybody doing this. I don't even know what's going to happen. I just know this battery ain't functioning right anyway, so better off to kill it than to get enough tin on there. Alright, now I'm going to need something between here to do a quick solder. Okay, if I can fit this in here. That moved on me. See if I can do it with my fingers. Ah, that's hot. Of course, I lost the shrink tape now. It was too close to the heat. Okay guys, with a little bit of help with this pen, I re-stretched the heat tape. I got it over the joint that we needed to get it over. And now I'm going to shrink it. Alright, so as you can see, I cut the black wire off this Smarty Pants board. And of course it's a cool looking board, but it doesn't do me any good if it ain't working right. It's got the little push button and the lights. I might just put it back in there because it takes up the space. Okay, so now we have to do the first I'll check it, see what the power is doing. And I got to scratch some little spots here to put the balance lead on. But let's check the power first. Make sure we didn't kill something here. Okay, I got 1261 coming out of this battery. No on-off switch, direct power. No baloney. Alright. So now, we have a lipo. She's not overheating, so I didn't do something wrong. Don't need this port anymore. But like I said, I'll probably hook it all back up. You know, I don't think it's really going to do anything. But I need it as a spacer for the body. But I have this little Harbor Freight with a little drum sander on it. What I'm going to do, make some spots to put the balance leads on. Alright, so I just ate through this plastic, and I mean you can scrape it with a razor blade too if you want, but it's a coating they put on it, so I guess they don't touch. So here's a balance lead. So what are we going to do with it? It has to come out one of the sides of the battery here. Let me put this back in the case here. Alright, and we want it to come out. We want it to come out and be on the inside of the battery like this. So what I think I'm going to do is make a hole. Like I said, I never did this before, so you're going to see me do trial and error. I'm going to make a little hole. Maybe I'll go off to the side here where there's more meat. Make a little hole for all the balance leads to go through. So for that, I will be needing a drill bit. Okay, so before I do that, take the battery back out. Sorry, this has got a heat protection thing. Okay, got a hole drill. Let's file it up a little bit. Okay, so I made a little hole here. Grab all the balance leads. What I should have did was to make sure the cover fit back on. That should be okay. I think I did it by accident. I put it in the right place. Alright, so balance leads out of the way. We do need to drop the pack now. But I can't get the battery past the balance lead, so let's take the leads out first. Drop the battery in. Now, just watch all these wires, they're all bare. Alright, so I figure hanging down about that much is about average on a lipo pack. Now, the wires are tinned. I just need to tin little blobs, and what I did is, like I said, you had a B negative, which I know is, if you look at your balance cords, I mean, they might be all different colors or all red, all black, but this one here, the way it's set up, all you need to do is look at another lipo or a lipo charging cell tool, and it'll tell you that the top one's negative and then all the powers come down. So full power is usually a last one. So red, I know, is number 3. Red is number 3, and the first black would be the negative, and then it would go 2, 3. Well, I mean 1, 2, and then 3. Alright? So just bear with me. Make a little globs here. I know that the red one is number 3, which is full power. And I'm working with a hot battery here. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to get a pair of tweezers. Okay, it's going to be a little bit easier. Hold this wire on the spot. Oop, I guess I didn't get it. Well, these wires ain't tinned. Okay, so number 3 is the red. What I'm going to do is wire tie these in the end so they all stay in the same position. Alright, so I want the last black one because I know that that is the true negative, which would be this B negative right here. So knock these out of the way. Let's do a little heated blob here. Alright, little heated blob, and again, I want to check. This would be the last one on the food chain. So this is definitely the B negative. Let's get it warmed up. Okay, so we have a number 3, and of course right next to number 3 would be number 2, but let me get some blobs down here. Okay, we didn't explode yet, so which is good. They use a really good high heat solder here because I'd be loosening up these cells. And I need one over here. Alright. So if red is number 3, the one next to it would be number 2. Just make sure you do this right. Otherwise you will have issues and you will have to run very, very fast. Okay, a little bit too much shaking on that one. Now, just to be sure, the third one. So the red wire is 3, 2, this is 1. Okay. Pull a bunch of wires out of the way here. I don't want to tag the wrong one. If I had 3 hands, I would have just did it all at once. Not quite right on my glob here. I'm having trouble with that one, but always check your connections. I'm going to put a little wire tie in here. Alright, so there's my balanced leads to the globs. Hit a hole on the side. I might put a little tape right here to hold it in place. But what I want to do is, I'm going to check for voltage. Check for voltage on the pack first. Got 1254, 1261, that's what we started with, so I didn't hurt nothing. Now we'll check the balance cable. Okay, the battery's showing 100%. At 420, 420, and 422. If you can see that. And this unit will self-balance it, so it'll equal this all out. And it's saying 100%, so alright. Like I said, I'm going to get a little wire tie to tie this down. And then we'll put it all back together again. And it should be an active lipo. And my second part will be taking the charger and cutting the lead off it so I can use the lead for charging. And like I said, always make sure your solder joints are okay. And if you want, put a little silicone. I hate those clear things. Hate them, I hate them, I hate them. Alright, I dropped one. Alrighty. So I figure just put it all back together. There's nothing really, it's going to short out. I'll leave the little plug off. I have no clue what it'll do if you leave that plugged in. Will it work as an on-off switch? I doubt it. I really do doubt it. But reinstall this, put the top back on, and if we want really quick, we can get some stuff out of the way. Get some stuff out of the way before I do this. Now, you'll be able to charge this in a conventional LiPo charger. You'll see the cells, it'll be contained, LiPos to the top sacks, and now I'm just going to do a test to plug it into the drone. And there you go. Came right on. No on-off switch. You just plug it in and it goes. So this is, I'm only recommending this to someone that might think their battery's dead because their board's doing something funny, that I wouldn't touch it. My secondary battery here I will not mess with because it's working fine and they're expensive. But this one here I messed with because I just didn't like the way it was chopped. It was just unsafe. So this is Cruiseroy with the UpAir One version 2's battery, adding a LiPo balance lead and making it a little bit safer to charge. But I do not recommend anybody do this. I'm just crazy enough to do it. And now I will store it in a metal bin until I'm sure it's okay, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. And the next step will just, I gotta cut the charger lead off and make myself a charger lead, but I'll also make it work either way. It can work with the other battery or it can work with this battery. But I just need this prong to charge this, or I can make my own. Alright? This is Cruiseroy, and be safe, fly hard, and I'm out of here.